Hey, I'm Troy from the Perfect Circle, and you're logged on to guitar.com. Basically, we have Billy. You know, he's got the very crisp, almost high fidelity sound, where a lot of his rhythm and his lead playing is very, distinct, clear. The lays are really crisp and nice. And where on the other hand, my sound is a little more bottom heavy, and the effects I use, I plug into the front of the amp rather than through the effects loop. So I like to have that sort of lo-fi, warbly sound where the gain is being dictated by the flange, sweeps and stuff. It's just this sort of all these voicings. And it just adds a different, sort of suspended element to just a regular D chord, And I think that's a lot of what Perfect Circle does. I think with the music is a suspension, and rather than just playing straight up, I just pick it up and play a couple chords. Really nothing too regimented, just whatever's in my head at the moment. When I first started playing, just to get, my hands limber, beyond that whole bar chord thing where your hands get all stiff, you start limbering up and you start playing like stuff like, Eruption by Eddie Van Halen and Randy Rhoads solos, and then I kind of just, it's kind of like music theory. You just kind of learn it and then you forget about it, because it just becomes too much of like just 12 notes in the scale. I mean, what else can you do, I just like to mess around with chords, and that kind of goes along with that whole thing about theory. I kind of forget what makes, I know that 3 notes make up, a triad of a chord, whether they're diminished or ninth or 11. I sort of just lost that whole idea of keeping the numbers straight, just kind of going with the ear and seeing what, especially back to, just playing chords on a guitar where you got all these open strings and you're just playing around with the open strings along with the chords, and just come up with a lot of really cool stuff, I think, I like to try and invent stuff, but for the most part, especially in the Perfect Circle, there's a lot of bar chords, where, it's just straight up rhythm, rock rhythm playing almost. But there is some great, some really great ideas, I think, on that record that, are playing around with chords and open strings and different voicings. Sleeping Beauty kind of utilizes a lot of the open, open notes again, the open strings. There's a lot of octaves too. There's just a lot of use of the open strings. then when the chorus comes in on that, it's very rough, just another power chord. Just keeps going, you know. It's standard guitar tuning, but it's tuned down to C sharp. So it's, I can't even think offhand what it is, but it's basically the same formation. I have another band where I sing and I play guitar, and I definitely had to adjust tunings to my voice, so it probably does have something to do with Maynard's voice. Yeah, Enemy is very straightforward rock band. It's a rock trio where it's basically, you know, the rhythm section is holding down the majority of the, you know, the groove, and I'm kind of playing around it and singing around it and stuff. But a lot of the stuff with Enemy is very chord, you know, experimental. Those sort of almost jazz chords with a driven tone sort of gives it like a sort of a intensity, you know. That's one thing I really like about the detuning is, especially in a band that only has one guitar player and one bass player, where you're trying to fill in all that space, you know, being able to hold down some of the heaviness and play around with the notes as well. The detuning is definitely something that I kind of tend to use for that element. Song called Vacancy, where just kind of using all those ninths and suspended sevenths and stuff like that. I don't even know what it's called. It's just playing around with this tuning one day.